What if I told you that some of the most powerful healing foods ever created aren't in a pharmacy or a supplement store? They're in a pot on your grandmother's stove. Soups that have been feeding soldiers, healing the sick, and rebuilding broken bodies for thousands of years. Recipes that entire civilizations swore by that got people through plagues, famines, and centuries of living without hospitals. Most people don't know this, but while we're all reaching for ibuprofen the moment we feel run down, there are soups out there that have been genuinely healing humans for millennia. Soups with real nutritional science backing them up. And today I'm going to show you 20 of them that will change the way you think about food as medicine forever. Stick around because number 5 on this list has been used for over 2,000 years and combines two of the most studied immune-supporting ingredients on Earth. And number 20 is one of the most ancient fermented medicines ever discovered, and modern gut science is finally catching up with what Asian cultures have known for centuries. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we post new videos every week that'll save you money and empower you to take charge of your own health. So let's get into it. Here are 20 forgotten healing soups ranked from impressive to absolutely life-changing. Number 1. Avgolemono, Greece, the ancient fever broth. Let's begin with avgolemono, a traditional Greek soup served since antiquity that sounds almost too basic to be therapeutic. It's essentially just chicken broth, eggs, and lemon. Yet, Greek households have relied on this dish for everything from combating fevers and soothing digestive issues to postpartum recovery and surviving flu season. Here is the science behind its effectiveness. Combining high-quality egg protein with collagen-dense broth provides the exact building blocks your body requires for tissue repair during illness. The lemon delivers a substantial dose of vitamin C, crucial for immune function and collagen synthesis. Moreover, the broth is remarkably gentle on an inflamed, compromised digestive tract, absorbing rapidly without overtaxing an already exhausted system. Modern nutritional science validates every single component here, offering protein, electrolytes, easy digestion, and anti-inflammatory benefits in a single bowl. Avgolemono slipped from our modern healing repertoire mainly because it demands a bit of kitchen time, whereas contemporary medicine conditioned us to expect cures in pill form. However, the Greeks always remembered, and current science confirms their wisdom. Consider this the natural IV drip your body actually craves, crafted from wholesome ingredients your great-grandmother would easily identify. Number 2. Canh Ga La Giang, Vietnam, the digestion awakener. If you have ever felt so drained that the mere thought of food is unappealing, this soup is crafted precisely for that scenario. Canh Ga La Giang is a traditional Vietnamese sour chicken broth, featuring a wild, intensely tart leaf known as La Giang, which flourishes near Southeast Asian forest edges. Families in Vietnam prepare this whenever a household member is ill, heavily fatigued, or suffering from a total loss of appetite. The underlying mechanism is fascinating. The tart compounds in the La Giang leaves actively trigger the release of digestive enzymes and stomach acid. This is exactly what a sluggish, compromised gut requires to restart. During illness, your digestive processes drastically slow down as your body diverts energy toward immune defense and cellular repair. The sharp, sour profile of this broth effectively signals your digestive tract to reawaken, prompting it to secrete, process, and absorb the vital nutrients you urgently require. This acts as genuine functional medicine, real food performing concrete physiological tasks. While this specific dish remains largely unknown in the West because La Giang doesn't grow there naturally, the core principle of utilizing sour, enzyme-activating herbs in healing broths exists globally. It is the perfect soup to remind your system how to heal itself. Number 3. Caldo de huesos, Latin America, the gut rebuilder. Bone broth has enjoyed a cultural resurgence recently, but families across Latin America never actually stopped making it. Caldo de huesos has been simmering on stoves from Mexico to Argentina for centuries. The traditional wisdom is incredibly consistent. Drink it when you are sick or recovering, when your digestion is compromised, your joints ache, or when you simply need a boost of strength. Today, modern nutritional science has verified these ancient claims. Slow-simmered bones release valuable collagen, gelatin, glycine, and proline, alongside essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. Glycine, which is highly abundant in this broth, boasts proven anti-inflammatory properties and helps fortify the gut lining. Since a damaged gut is the underlying cause of many chronic health issues, glycine plays a critical role in repairing it. The secret lies in the long simmering process, requiring at least 8 to 12 hours for beef bones and 4 to 6 hours for chicken. This breaks the collagen down into gelatin, creating that signature healing texture. This is true food science supported by centuries of ancestral knowledge. Caldo de huesos is the original gut healer, quietly achieving what modern pharmaceutical treatments try to replicate. Number 4. Borscht, Eastern Europe, the blood and liver tonic. Borscht is intensely red, strikingly earthy, and instantly recognizable. Yet most people are unaware they are looking at one of the most nutrient-dense soups ever created. Eastern European families have relied on borscht to survive harsh winters, wars, and famines. There is a powerful reason it sustained them. The centerpiece is beets, and beets are a form of serious medicine. They are packed with betalains, the antioxidant pigments responsible for that vibrant color, which offer proven anti-inflammatory and liver-protecting benefits. Beets also contain high levels of nitrates. Your body converts these into nitric oxide, a compound that dilates and relaxes blood vessels, thereby promoting excellent cardiovascular health and optimal blood flow. Traditional Eastern European herbalists prescribed beets specifically for liver issues and sluggish circulation, and modern research now perfectly explains why this method worked. When simmered together with cabbage, carrots, onions, and often meat or beans, borscht provides a genuinely phenomenal nutritional profile. It delivers fiber, folate, vitamin C, iron, and potent liver-supporting compounds in a single serving. Borscht never actually vanished. It was merely dismissed as peasant food by the very same culture that now sells bottled beet juice as a pricey performance supplement. It is a powerful health tonic that has always been hiding in plain sight. Number 5. Samgyetang Korea, the 2,000-year immune weapon. This is the remarkable dish I teased at the very beginning. Samgyetang is a traditional Korean soup featuring a whole young chicken, stuffed with glutinous rice, garlic, jujube dates, and potent ginseng. It is simmered for hours until the broth becomes rich, slightly sweet, and incredibly fortifying. People in Korea have consumed this for over 2 millennia. Traditionally, it is served during the peak of summer heat. This follows the concept of fighting fire with fire, using warming meals to induce sweating and restore lost energy. Modern science takes this recipe very seriously. Panax ginseng is one of the most extensively researched botanicals globally. Clinical studies highlight its powerful effects on immune modulation, stress response, and significant fatigue reduction. It is packed with ginsenosides that actively interact with immune cells. Meanwhile, the garlic provides allicin, delivering well-documented antimicrobial benefits. Traditional Korean medicine specifically paired these elements to restore energy and fortify immunity. Add the protein and collagen from the slow-cooked chicken, the complex carbohydrates from the rice, and the antioxidants from the jujubes, and you get a meal providing measurable, multi-angled nourishment. Samgyetang is the exact reason the term superfood was coined. It is an ancient medicinal weapon that modern immunology is only just beginning to decode. Number 6. Caldo Verde, Portugal, the antioxidant powerhouse. Portugal's national soup is a simple yet brilliant culinary creation. It combines potato broth, rich olive oil, and massive quantities of finely shredded dark leafy greens. Traditionally, cooks use galega kale, a more bitter and nutrient-dense variety than the curly kale commonly found in American stores. It is often garnished with sliced chorizo for added protein and savory depth. Kale ranks among the most nutritionally packed vegetables on the planet. This remains completely true whether it is blended into a trendy smoothie or served in a bowl of caldo verde. These powerful greens provide an abundance of vitamins A, C, and K, alongside iron, calcium, and glucosinolates. These specific sulfur compounds actively support your liver's detoxification pathways and demonstrate documented anti-cancer properties in lab settings. Furthermore, the olive oil in the broth makes all those crucial fat-soluble vitamins highly bioavailable, achieving a level of absorption that eating raw kale simply cannot. Portuguese households have relied on caldo verde through poverty and war, serving it at joyous celebrations and sickbeds alike because it genuinely physiologically sustains the human body. It reminds us that the ultimate superfoods have always existed in our grandmother's kitchens, long before they were marketed as pricey juices. It also helps explain why coastal Portuguese communities historically boast some of the lowest chronic disease rates across Europe. Number 7. Sopa de ajo, Spain, the garlic antimicrobial. Spanish garlic soup is a recipe that appears deceptively simple. It requires only garlic, stale bread, olive oil, eggs, paprika, chicken broth, and a pinch of cumin. Yet this dish has served as the premier cold and flu remedy across the Iberian Peninsula for centuries. Spanish grandmothers would prepare it at the very first sign of a sniffle, and science proves they were absolutely right. The star ingredient is garlic, and certainly not a modest amount. A traditional sopa de ajo utilizes an entire head, sometimes even more. It is roasted or sautéed in olive oil until it softens and sweetens. When this garlic breaks down within the hot liquid, allicin and its potent derivative compounds flood the broth. This creates an antimicrobial medium that is completely measurable in modern laboratory settings. Studies demonstrate that garlic extracts are highly effective against a wide variety of viruses and bacteria, including certain antibiotic-resistant strains. The eggs, poaching directly in the simmering broth, add vital protein for tissue repair. Meanwhile, the olive oil provides beneficial anti-inflammatory monounsaturated fats. The bread, historically the stale end of a loaf, supplied easily digestible energy. This was effectively a poor man's medicine, built from the most affordable ingredients in a standard Spanish kitchen. As it turns out, those cheap ingredients were performing serious physiological work. Sopa de ajo firmly proves that true culinary genius does not need to be complicated. Number 8. Cock-a-leekie, Scotland, the surprisingly powerful gut tonic. Cock-a-leekie might sound like a punchline, but it is easily one of the most underrated healing meals on this list. Scotland's national soup is a straightforward blend of chicken, leeks, barley, and prunes. This combination usually strikes people as odd, until you understand what each specific ingredient actually accomplishes. Leeks belong to the allium family alongside garlic and onions. They are packed with prebiotic fibers that specifically nourish your beneficial gut bacteria. They also feature high levels of camphorol, a powerful flavonoid with proven anti-inflammatory properties. The barley introduces beta-glucan. This is one of the most extensively researched prebiotic fibers known to enhance both gut microbiome diversity and immune regulation. The prunes, which are standard in the authentic recipe, provide valuable soluble fiber and sorbitol. This makes the broth gently digestive regulating, achieved in the most polite Scottish manner possible. Historically, cock-a-leekie was the dish Highland families cooked when an old rooster was past his prime, and the harsh winter cold was fast approaching. This sheer necessity resulted in something remarkably sophisticated. It is a prebiotic, anti-inflammatory, gut-supporting, and immune-modulating powerhouse that modern functional nutrition would struggle to improve upon. It perfectly proves that traditional Scottish cooking has always been vastly smarter than people realize. Number 9. Kapusniak, Poland and Ukraine, the fermented gut medicine. Kapusniak is a traditional sauerkraut soup crafted by Eastern European peasants to survive the harshest imaginable winters. The fact that they endured those conditions proves how deeply sustaining this meal is. Its foundation is fermented cabbage or sauerkraut, simmered alongside pork or smoked meats, hearty root vegetables, and a rich, dark broth. Fermented cabbage is a genuine probiotic powerhouse. It was teeming with beneficial bacteria long before the era of modern supplements and kombucha. The lactic acid fermentation required to make sauerkraut generates thriving populations of lactobacillus bacteria. It also produces organic acids that actively lower gut pH to fend off pathogens and unlocks bioavailable nutrients, including massive doses of vitamin C. This was absolutely critical for Eastern Europeans lacking citrus fruits during freezing months. Today, modern science recognizes the gut microbiome as a crucial area of health research. We now understand that fermented foods like sauerkraut offer legitimate therapeutic benefits for immune function and microbiome diversity. Kapusniak functioned as gut medicine long before we even invented that terminology. Back then, it was simply called dinner, and it kept generations alive through extreme conditions that would completely break modern immune systems. Number 10. Canja de galinha, Portugal and Brazil, the convalescence friend. In both Portugal and Brazil, when someone falls genuinely ill, whether recovering from surgery, breaking a fever, or just giving birth, they are immediately served canja. This is essentially non-negotiable. Canja de galinha is the meal families deliver when you cannot care for yourself, because this soup actively takes care of you. It features a whole chicken slow-simmered for hours alongside rice, basic vegetables, and gentle aromatics like parsley, lemon zest, or mint. This process yields a broth of incredible depth in rice so tender it practically dissolves. Every single element is carefully tailored for a deeply weakened body. The long cooking time pre-digests the protein. The natural collagen transforms into soothing gelatin. The rice starches soften for effortless digestion, and the aromatic herbs gently settle the stomach. Modern research on chicken broth has completely validated what every Portuguese grandmother knew instinctively. Compounds extracted from chicken during prolonged simmering provide mild anti-inflammatory benefits to the upper respiratory tract. This perfectly explains the ancient link between chicken soup and fighting off colds. Canja de galinha represents that ancestral wisdom distilled into its most gentle, essential, and effective form. Number 11. Ash reshteh Iran, the micronutrient bomb. Ash reshteh is a Persian herb soup so ancient and revered that it is traditionally served at Nowruz, the Persian New Year, to symbolize health and good fortune for the upcoming year. Reviewing its ingredient list quickly explains its millennia-old association with vitality. The base incorporates multiple varieties of lentils and beans, special wheat noodles called reshteh, and an absolutely staggering volume of fresh greens. Spinach, cilantro, parsley, dill, and fenugreek leaves are all generously wilted right into the hot broth. It is finally topped with kashk, a dense fermented whey, alongside dried mint, turmeric, and crispy fried onions. These herbs are not merely a polite garnish, they are a primary ingredient by volume, yielding a genuinely astonishing nutrient density. A single bowl delivers magnesium, iron, folate, and vitamins A, C, and K, plus complete plant-based proteins, legume-derived prebiotic fiber, and the powerful probiotic benefits of fermented kashk. This is the soup that makes a standard multivitamin look completely lazy. Ash reshteh faded from global popularity merely because it requires massive amounts of fresh herbs, a cooking style that modern convenience culture has largely abandoned. However, Persians never stopped making it, and they have excellent physiological reasons for continuing the tradition. Number 12. Ukha, Russia, the mineral-rich recovery broth. Ukha is a traditional Russian fish soup, tracing its culinary roots back to at least the 12th century. However, authentic Ukha looks nothing like the creamy seafood chowders Westerners know. It is essentially a clear, restorative broth, crafted from the heads and bones of freshwater fish. It features minimal additions, just bay leaves, black pepper, fresh dill, and a few root vegetables. The true power of Ukha lies in what those simmered bones release: zinc, iodine, selenium, and omega-3 fatty acids. These critical nutrients actively control inflammation, support immune responses, and regulate thyroid function, yet they are chronically deficient in standard modern diets. Because the broth remains incredibly light, it is the perfect recovery meal. It delivers intense mineral nourishment without feeling heavy, making it easily absorbed by a fragile digestive system. Historically, Russian fishermen prepared this right on the riverbanks with their fresh catch, using it to restore their strength after grueling labor in freezing conditions. Ukha largely disappeared from the global stage simply because modern culture embraced canned soups and forgot how to utilize the entire fish. Number 13. Sopa tarasca, Mexico, the fiber and antioxidant engine. Named in honor of the Purépecha people of Michoacán, Sopa tarasca is a pre-Columbian culinary masterpiece. It belongs on this list because it showcases an ancient civilization that perfectly maximized nutrition from local ingredients. The foundation consists of pureed pinto or black beans, blended with roasted tomatoes, garlic, dried chilies, and chicken broth. It is traditionally garnished with cheese, crema, and crispy tortilla strips. This recipe relies on tomatoes and beans as primary medicinal tools. Beans are incredibly rich in fiber and complete proteins. They deliver vital magnesium, iron, and folate, alongside resistant starch that directly feeds healthy gut bacteria. Meanwhile, cooked tomatoes release high amounts of lycopene, a potent carotenoid antioxidant scientifically linked to cardiovascular health and cancer prevention. The Purépecha people developed this meal alongside the traditional Three Sisters agricultural method, focusing on beans, corn, and squash. They instinctively understood how these regional crops work together to effectively sustain a community. Modern nutritional science completely validates their ancient practices. Sopa tarasca represents brilliant indigenous food intelligence, perfectly encoded within a single soup bowl. It remains just as physiologically relevant today as it was over 500 years ago. Number 14, Tinola, the Philippines, the inflammation quencher. Tinola is undoubtedly one of the most beloved and healing dishes in the Philippines. It features a transparent, ginger-heavy chicken broth loaded with chayote or green papaya and generous handfuls of malunggay or moringa leaves, widely considered some of the most nutrient-dense greens on the planet. The fresh ginger root is the absolute hero here. When simmered directly in the liquid, it releases potent shogal and gingerol compounds. These offer heavily documented digestive, anti-nausea, and anti-inflammatory benefits. In fact, numerous clinical trials confirm ginger's efficacy against severe nausea, including morning sickness and chemotherapy side effects. This makes ginger broth a legitimately therapeutic treatment, not merely a folk remedy. The moringa leaves elevate the soup's nutritional profile even further. Relative to their size, they provide an extraordinary amount of iron, calcium, complete protein, and vitamins A and C. Filipino households rely on tinola whenever a family member falls ill, when a mother has just given birth, or when someone desperately requires physical restoration. It is gentle enough for a highly sensitive stomach, warming enough to finally break a fever, and nutritious enough to rebuild what sickness depleted. It remains a regional secret simply because the broader world hasn't fully embraced moringa yet. Number 15, Mercimek çorbası, Turkey, the rebuilder soup. Red lentil soup is a staple across Turkey, served everywhere from humble roadside stops to luxury hotels. Its universal appeal hints at its fundamental nutritional power. This is the essential meal people turn to when they genuinely need to eat. Red lentils provide one of the highest plant-based protein sources available. Unlike heavier legumes, they cook incredibly fast and are remarkably easy to digest. They offer a rich blend of magnesium, folate, iron, along with both soluble and insoluble fiber. The traditional spicing, usually paprika, cumin, and a drizzle of mint-infused butter, adds robust flavor while actively supporting digestion. Cumin naturally stimulates the production of digestive enzymes. Meanwhile, the butter supplies fat-soluble vitamins and makes the beneficial compounds within the spices highly bioavailable. Mercimek çorbası is often dismissed as overly simple. However, culinary simplicity frequently translates to biological efficiency. This broth delivers high-quality nourishment in a highly usable format, completely bypassing the heavy digestive load of complex meals. In Turkish households, it is frequently the first solid food offered during illness recovery. This perfectly illustrates traditional wisdom functioning as precision medicine. Number 16, Ogbono soup, West Africa, the strength rebuilder. Ogbono soup is crafted from crushed bush mango seeds, blended with palm oil, meat or fish, and hearty leafy greens. This creates a deeply savory, remarkably thick, and viscous stew. It stands as one of the most calorically and nutritionally dense traditional meals globally. The wild mango seeds are genuinely extraordinary. They are packed with dietary fiber, protein, and beneficial fats. Specifically oleic acid, the exact monounsaturated fat present in olive oil. Scientific research highlights the appetite-regulating properties of Ogbono extract, indicating it supports healthy blood sugar control and weight management. The unrefined palm oil supplies crucial fat-soluble vitamins E and A. The regional leafy greens like ugu or bitter leaf provide vital antioxidants and minerals. Traditional West African healers prescribed this rich soup for nursing mothers, those recovering from severe illness, or anyone experiencing profound physical weakness. It is intentionally calorie-dense, formulated for depleted bodies requiring aggressive rebuilding rather than just mild nourishment. Ogbono soup essentially pieces you back together when illness has completely broken you down. The broader world simply hasn't discovered this powerful remedy yet. Number 17, Harira, Morocco, the recovery engine. Harira is the traditional soup Moroccans use to break their daily Ramadan fast. This single detail perfectly highlights its primary function as an ultimate restoration food. Following an entire day without hydration or calories, the body desperately requires fiber, protein, warming spices, and complex carbohydrates to safely restart. Harira provides all these critical elements in a single pot. The hearty base combines chickpeas, lentils, tomatoes, and either lamb or chicken. It is heavily spiced with cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, and black pepper. then finished with a squeeze of fresh lemon and aromatic herbs. Every individual ingredient serves a specific physiological purpose. Together, the chickpeas and lentils form a complete amino acid profile packed with fiber, ensuring a steady, sustained energy release rather than a sudden sugar crash. Ginger and turmeric introduce potent anti-inflammatory compounds, gingerol and curcumin. The cinnamon actively assists with blood sugar regulation, while the black pepper provides piperine, which massively boosts curcumin absorption. Harira was not formulated in a modern lab. It was perfected over generations by people who instinctively recognized what an exhausted body required. The resulting stew effortlessly manages blood sugar, replenishes protein, lowers inflammation, and nourishes the microbiome simultaneously. Number 18. Shorbat Adas, the Arab world, the comfort healer. Shorbat Adas, or Arabic lentil soup, is easily one of the most frequently consumed meals across North Africa and the Middle East. You will find it everywhere from Saudi Arabia to Lebanon and Iraq to Morocco. Every single family has their own unique version, yet every variation remains deeply healing. The foundation relies on red or yellow lentils, simmered until they achieve a completely silky, smooth texture. It is then flavored with turmeric, cumin, and frequently coriander, before being finished with generous drizzles of olive oil and fresh lemon juice. That lemon juice provides much more than just a bright flavor. It significantly boosts the body's ability to absorb iron from the lentils. Traditional cooks discovered this brilliant nutritional pairing entirely by palate, millennia before scientists understood the complex chemistry of non-heme iron and ascorbic acid. This type of intuitive dietary wisdom is packed into every bowl. The healthy fats within the olive oil maximize curcumin absorption from the turmeric. The soluble fiber in the lentils actively nourishes beneficial gut bacteria, while the vitamin C from the lemon fortifies immune function. For centuries, Shorbat Adas has served as a reliable recovery meal, a sick day staple, and a powerful hunger banisher. It accomplishes exactly what an exhausted body requires. It heals quietly and nourishes with incredible efficiency. Number 19. Soto Ayam, Indonesia, the anti-inflammatory powerhouse. We are now entering the territory of truly potent traditional remedies. Soto Ayam translates to Indonesian chicken soup, but comparing it to a standard Western chicken broth is a massive understatement. This intensely flavorful liquid is brewed with galangal, lemongrass, makrut lime leaves, and crucially, massive amounts of fresh turmeric root. In modern botanical medicine, turmeric is easily the most thoroughly researched anti-inflammatory agent. Its primary active compound, curcumin, is the focus of thousands of clinical trials proving its powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits for everything from metabolic syndrome to chronic arthritis. However, Soto Ayam does not rely on a tiny pinch of dried powder. It utilizes whole, fresh turmeric root. This provides a complete spectrum of curcuminoids and natural essential oils, boosting bioavailability in ways that highly processed extracts simply cannot match. This is paired with lemongrass, noted for its digestive and antimicrobial benefits, and galangal, a potent ginger relative packed with unique anti-inflammatory properties. Ultimately, Soto Ayam functions as an advanced anti-inflammatory delivery vehicle disguised as a profoundly comforting meal. Traditional Indonesian culture has never artificially separated medicine from daily food. The result is a dish that simultaneously repairs your cells while satisfying your hunger. By the way, hit that like button if you are finally realizing just how much ancient healing wisdom has been hiding in global kitchens. Number 20. Miso soup, Japan, the ancient probiotic medicine. We have finally arrived at number 20. I saved this for last because it illustrates a concept modern science is just beginning to grasp. Meat miso soup. It seems almost too simple to qualify as medicine. Just dashi broth, seaweed, tofu, green onions, and miso paste. Yet Japanese populations have consumed this every single day for over a millennium. They do not eat it occasionally. It is a daily breakfast baseline. Miso is a fermented paste crafted from salt, soybeans, and a mold culture called koji. This fermentation process, sometimes lasting years, creates a living food teeming with beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and bioavailable nutrients that raw soybeans completely lack. Modern gut science confirms that microbiome diversity is a crucial foundation for overall health, dictating everything from mental clarity to immune strength and metabolic stability. Fermented foods like miso actively cultivate this diversity, achieving results that artificial probiotic supplements still struggle to replicate. Furthermore, the traditional seaweed supplies iodine, rare minerals, and fucoidins that are incredibly difficult to source from land-based plants. The tofu provides complete plant proteins, while the dashi base, brewed from bonito flakes and kombu, adds immense mineral nourishment. Epidemiological research on legendary Japanese longevity repeatedly highlights daily miso soup as a massive contributing factor. This bowl demonstrates the profound power of consistent, intelligent nourishment over a lifespan. It is not a temporary treatment or a quick cure, it is a lifelong practice. That is the core lesson these 20 dishes are teaching us. Here is the crucial thread connecting every soup on this list. None of them were created by modern nutritionists, and none were engineered inside a laboratory. Each recipe was carefully developed by everyday people paying close attention to how their families reacted to specific meals. They refined that dietary knowledge across countless generations until they achieved something that genuinely and consistently worked. We have been conditioned to believe that legitimate medicine is rare, expensive, and heavily packaged. We are taught that true healing only happens inside a hospital, not something you practice over a kitchen stove. However, these traditional meals, from a Greek egg lemon broth to a Japanese fermented miso, and a Korean ginseng chicken to a West African wild mango stew, actively reject that modern narrative. They prove that real healing has always resided in the kitchen. It lives directly in the simmering pot, rooted in the ancestral knowledge of combining natural ingredients that have been available to humans for thousands of years. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world's forgotten healing soups and learned something that might actually change how you cook, please smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel reach others who are ready to embrace food as medicine. Drop a comment below and tell me which soup you are making first. Are you team fermented gut healers, team ancient immune soups, or team recovery broths? I read every single comment, and I absolutely love hearing from this community. Finally, if you haven't subscribed to Backyard Yield yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a future video. We are building a real community here, a group of people who firmly believe that health empowerment starts directly in the kitchen. And we would love to have you.